Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. J. Thanks for joining me again today. There's two worksheets that I want to go over with you today, and you can see at the top I've labeled them answer key. These two worksheets were included in the math section of your third grade framework this week. And they were underneath the comparing fractions, and they were underneath the measuring worksheets because those lessons were for new learning. These two worksheets with word problems are for review. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through the worksheets with you and kind of walk you through the problems and explain the math that you should have done. And then you can check your work to see if you have the right answers. So, if you have not had a chance to do these worksheets yet with the word problems, and you don't have to print them, you can just bring them up on your screen and you can just do the work on a piece of white paper. They look like this. So there's 10 problems all together. I want you to try and do the problems first. So do the math. So if you haven't done the math yet and you don't have the answers, don't watch this video yet. Come back to it when you do. So if you have had an opportunity and you have done the 210 worksheets and you have the answers, here we go. Let's see how you did. Now remember, the one thing that you want to remember about word problems is what? Most of the time when you get the answer wrong, it's not because you're having a math problem, you're having a what? A reading problem. Remember, that's the trickiest thing about word problems, is to make sure that you are reading the problem accurately and you're giving them the answer that they're looking for. So these problems, these problems each have two steps to them. So we're going to have to figure out the first answer first and then do the second part of the problem to figure out the answer that they're actually looking for. Okay, so I'm going to take out my practice worksheet and put that to the side. And so let's read number one together. Marnie bought 45 roses from one florist and 27 roses from another. She wants to put the roses into vases with 8 roses each. In each. How many vases will she need? So in your head, I want you to picture Marnie with this big group of vases, and she wants to divide them into equal groups, 8 roses in each vase. How many vases will she need? So that's what we're looking for. So how many vases? Well, first of all, we have to figure out how many roses Marnie had. Well, she got 45 from one florist and 27 from the other. So I'm going to do a little work over here. 45 plus 27. 5 plus 7 is 2. I'm going to carry the 1, and I get 72. So she has 72 roses, and she wants to put them into vases with 8 roses each. Well, that just sounds like dividing into equal groups. So I think I'm going to put 72 divided by 8, and my correct answer would be 9 vases. Okay, so you get a star for the correct answer and you get a star for the correct label. So you should have 9 vases for the first answer. Okay. Number 2, let's see how you did. Elliot has 9 tropical fish. Sarah has 4 times as many fish as Elliot. How many fish do Elliot and Sarah have in all? So how many fish are there in all? Well, we know Elliot has 9. Sarah has 4 times as many as Elliot. Well, if I know Elliot has 9, 4 times 9 must be 36. Now I have to add them together. So I'm going to get 36 plus 9. And if I added that together, if you want to do it the up and down way, like a third grader, 5, 1, I would have 45 fish. That's a lot of fish. Okay? 45 fish. Yay! I hope you've gotten them both right so far. Okay, number 3. Ali earns $12 each week. He spends $5 and saves the rest. How much does he save in 10 weeks? Okay, well, he starts with 12 and he spends 5 and he saves the rest. So 12 minus 5 is 7. How many dollars would he have after 10 weeks? Well, I would have 7 times 10 equals 70. Oops, my dollar sign's a little mushy there, but that would count as a label. A dollar sign can be a label, so $70. Okay, so the difference would be 7. After 10 weeks, he'd have $70. That's a lot of money. I wonder what he wants to do with all that. Okay, so number 4, Irene made some cakes for a bake sale. She started with 3 dozen eggs. She used 4 eggs in each cake. She had no eggs left. How many cakes did she make? Okay, so this is not a problem about eggs, although the number of eggs is important. We want to know how many cakes she made. So, the first thing you have to know is, how much is a dozen? We've talked about that. A dozen equals 12. So she started with 3 dozen eggs. So 3 times 12 is 36 to start with. So let's keep that straight. She used 4 eggs in each cake. How many cakes did she make? Well, she had 36 eggs. She used 4 in each cake. How many cakes did she bake? She baked 9 cakes. Now, I automatically made that into a division problem. You maybe would have had to do repeated subtraction, or maybe you would do repeated addition to see, well, if she used 4 eggs in each cake and she had no left and she had 36, so she would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You maybe had to add up or subtract down, or you could have simply, maybe you did it in a multiplication problem in your head, okay? Lots of different ways you could have gotten that answer, but our answer is 9 cakes. Yay! Okay, I hope you got all of those right. I would be very impressed if you did. So, let's now correct our practice worksheet. Okay, so again, 2-step problem, so we've got to use the information that's given to us first to answer the first problem to get the first number we need, and then we have to figure out what to do with it on the second half of the problem, and we have to answer the answer correctly. So, number 1. A soccer coach bought 4 6-packs of bottled water to practice. Her players drank the water in 13 bottles. How many bottles were left after practice? Okay, so how many bottles were left? Whoa, sorry, my knee hit the table. Looks like we had a little earthquake. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. Let's figure out how much water there was in the first place. So there was 4 6-packs. 4 groups of 6 would be 4 times 6. That would give us 24 bottles of water. Her players drank 13 bottles. How many were left? Well, if we started with 24 and they drank 13, 11 bottles are left. I hope you got the right answer to that one. The tricky part is, remember, here we have some numbers in standard form, but then we have some numbers written in word form. So you'd have to be sure to catch that. That might be a little tricky there. Sometimes they do standard form and word form in word problems, so that's why you have to read carefully. So 4 6-packs would be 4 groups of 6. That gives you 24. Okay, let's go to number 2. Simon had a basket of 32 apples. He made 5 apple pies using 5 apples in each one. How many apples did he have left? Okay, so again, we're looking for something that's left. And remember, if I think about something that's left, I probably am going to subtract. Remember your key words when we talk about word problems. So he had 32 apples. He made 5 apple pies using 5 apples. So 5 groups of 5 would be 25 apples. How many were left? So if he started with 32 and he used 25, okay, I'm going to look at my ones first. My bigger number's on the bottom, so I can't do that. If I only have 2 of something, I can't take away 5. So I have to go to my tens, and I'm going to bring over a 10, and 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 apples were left. Okay, so far so good. I hope you're getting them all right. And if you didn't get any right for some reason so far, I want you to look at your mistake and figure out why. Was it because you had the math fact wrong? Did you make an adding or subtracting mistake? Or was it a reading mistake? Okay, let's see how we do. Number 3, we've got a couple left. So a long sleeve t-shirt costs $15. This is $6 more than a short sleeve shirt. How much do 8 short sleeved t-shirts cost? So we need 8 short sleeve t-shirts. Well, so we're going to have to figure out how much a short sleeve t-shirt costs because we need 8 of them. So a long sleeve t-shirt costs $15. This is $6 more than a short sleeve shirt. Well, if I was to figure out what would be less than that, I would do minus 6, and I would still get 15 up there. That's a tricky one, and I would have 9. Okay, so my short sleeve t-shirts cost $9. The long sleeve t-shirts cost $15, which that usually makes sense because long sleeve t-shirts are more expensive because there's more material. So that would make sense because if you added the 6 instead and you got $21, think about that in your head. Would a short sleeve shirt cost more money than a long sleeve shirt? Probably not. So $9 would be the right answer. So now they're $9 and I need 8 of them. So my cost is $72. Okay, so $72. So you had to do a little subtracting there, and then you had to come up with a math fact of 9 times 8 with $72. Okay, so, here's one about kids in class. So the 24 students in Ms. Ramirez's class and the 25 students in Mr. Bodine's class went to an art museum. Oh, how fun. They were divided into 7 equal tour groups. Well, I'm seeing 7 and I'm seeing equal groups. So I'm automatically in my head thinking division. How many students were in each group? Well, first we need the total number of kids. And if I added 24 plus 25, I would get 49. Ooh, that looks like a good fact to divide by 7. So 49 kids total in 7 equal groups. Oh, look at that. It's going to give me 7 students in each group because 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, so 7 students in each group. Ooh, a slumber party. They're going to have pizza. Okay, so let's read the information that we have. At her slumber party, Michael served 4 pizzas, each cut into 6 slices. Each girl at the party ate 3 slices, and there was no pizza left. how many girls were at the slumber party? So we have to figure out the girls based on how many pieces of pizza they ate. How many of them were at the party? Well, first of all, let's figure out how much pizza there is. Okay? So there's 4 pizzas, each cut into 6 slices. So that to me sounds like 4 groups of 6. So I have 24 slices of pizza. Each girl at the party ate 3 slices. So those pieces of pizza were divided up equally and everybody got 3 pieces. So what I would do is 24 divided by 3 equals 8, because remember, 3 times 8 is 24, and I need my label. I would have 8 girls at the slumber party. Okay. All right, number 6. We're in the home stretch. Let's see how we do. Camilla spent 8 minutes studying spelling. She spent 4 times as many minutes doing her math homework. What total amount of time did she spend studying spelling and doing math homework? Okay. Well, she spent 8 minutes on spelling. She spent 4 times as many minutes on her math homework. So if spelling is 8, she did 4 times as much on her math. So 4 times 8 is 32. So she definitely spent a lot more time on her math than her spelling. What total amount of time did she spend studying on spelling and doing math? Well, if I was to add 32 plus 8, I would get 40 minutes. Yay! Okay, my 3rd grade friends, I hope you had much success with doing these word problems. Remember, you just have to read carefully. You have to go slowly. You have to get the correct answer first, and then make sure you give the answer that the question is asking. So hopefully you had a chance to do this before the worksheet. If you didn't and you had to go ahead and you had to get a little help with this, that's okay too. Maybe now you can go back and you can finish this on your own. But if you were able to do the problems first and then you use this as an answer key, I would say 2, 4, 6, 8. So this paper, the second one, we would have graded out of 12 points. So you can give yourself a score out of 12. And then I would say the first problem, since they're each worth 2 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say you could give yourself a score out of 8 points. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you had fun with word problems. They are fun, but you have to remember the tips and tricks to help you get the right answers, and you have to remember to keep working at it. Remember, they're called word problems for a reason, right? Not word friendlies, not word happies, not word yoo-hoos, right? They're called word problems to stretch your brain. Okay, thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.